So Blender version 5.2 is just about to be released, and by the time you're watching this video, it may already have been officially released. And in the new update, they have added a new mesh bevel node to the geometry nodes, and this is something that I'm really excited about. So I've opened up Blender 5.2, this is the release candidate, very cool new splash screen. So in Blender version 5.2, what I'm going to do is just delete everything, because you have to delete the default cube, and let's just add a new cube. So I'm now going to jump over to the geometry nodes, and I'll add new geometry nodes, and if I go to the add menu, I can search for bevel, and you can see we now have a new mesh bevel node. So I'll just drop it right here. So a while back, I remember thinking that it would be really cool if they added a bevel node, because of course, if I just disable this and go to the add menu on the modifiers, I can of course add the bevel modifier. And this is of course a really useful modifier, but I can't actually make this bevel interact in the geometry nodes. You can layer it in a modifier stack, so I can have the geometry nodes bevel and this bevel, but I can't actually plug it up in geometry node setups. Well, now that we have this mesh bevel node, I can actually add it to existing geometry node setups. So let's go over the settings. So first there is edge and vertices. So if I set it to vertices, now you can see there's just going to be a single offset, and I can just add a bevel to the vertices. So that's just going to be the edges of the cube. There's also the segments here, so I can turn up the segments if I want to basically subdivide it. But for most things, you're probably just going to leave it to edges. That kind of makes more sense for most things. So I'll just set it to edges. Now you can see there is the different offsets here. So there's the start left, the start right, and then the end left and end right. So you can see if I drag these, it's kind of offsetting these and moving them around. So probably most of the time I wouldn't use these individually, I'd use them all together. So what you can do is click and then drag down, and then you can drag left and right. You can see now it's going to move them all together. And then I can hold down the shift key to make my movements more sensitive. But instead of dragging these all together, what I can do is just search for a value node, drop it here, and plug this into all four of these. So I'll just plug it into all four of those like that. And then if I drag this single value, it's going to bevel all of them. And then of course there's the segments here, so I can make the bevel nice and round. Now there's also this miter checkbox, and if I turn on the miter, you can see there's going to be a spread. And so basically what this is going to do, it's going to make that edge bevel on the vertices kind of come out farther. So you can see if I turn up the spread here, now you can see that bevel is going to be longer where the vertices are. So if I go into edit mode, there's a vertex here, then there is an edge, and then there's another vertex. Well, if I change the spread now, it's going to basically make that bevel go longer out from that vertex. And then I already mentioned this, but there is also the segments, so I can turn these segments up and down. So if I turn the segments down and then turn the spread down with the miter turned on, you can now see that as well as there being a bevel on this edge, there's also a bevel on this edge. So that is pretty cool, but you can also turn it off if you don't want to use it. And then there's also a shape here. So to see the shape better, it's best to turn up the segments so it's more smooth. And then I'll look at this from side view, and I can just drag the shape. So if I drag it down, you can see there's not really any bevel, or the edge is really sharp. Then if I drag the shape up, it kind of rounds over this way. But then if I turn the shape up really big, you can see now it's rounding out more. So it's kind of bulging out. So pretty useful, but I can just hit the backspace to reset it. Now what's really cool about this is that you can actually add a profile shape from a curve, and then it'll actually have a custom profile shape. So what I'm going to do is search for the object info node, and I can plug the geometry up to the profile. Now what we need to do is add a curve, so I'll drag this out of the way. We'll go to the add menu, and I'll go here to curve, and let's add the Bezier curve. And I'll hit 7 on the numpad to go to top view. Now what you want to do, how you want to set this up, is you want to make sure that the curve isn't moving up and down at all on the z-axis. So you basically want to make sure that the curve is flat on the z-axis. So that's what I'm hitting 7 to go to top view, so I can just edit it along the y-axis and the x-axis. And then what I want to do is I want to make the end of the bevel be right here, so it 1 on the y-axis and then 1 on the x-axis. So if I hit N to open up the side panel, you want to do this in edit mode, and you want to select the curve handle. Well, you can see there are control points, and I can add a specific value. So I'm going to turn this to 0. So on the first curve right here, I'm going to set the y value to 1. And now you can see it's right up here in this corner. Then what I want to do is select the other one, and you can see this one is already where it's supposed to be, but if it's not, just make the X value 1. And then I can rotate the handles. I can also scale it down. I could also select both of them at once and use the object context menu and subdivide it. And now you can see there's going to be another handle subdivided in the middle. So now what I want to do is click back on our object with the geometry nodes. And if I go here to the object info, I can just click on the eyedropper and choose that bevel. And now you can see we're actually getting a custom bevel shape. So I can go into edit mode, maybe rotate this, move it down. I can also select everything and use the object context menu, and I'll just subdivide it again, and I could like bring this down and kind of bring this up, and now you can see we kind of get this cool shape here. So it's this wobbly shape from the bevel. So this could definitely be very useful. One example where it could be useful is if you're creating like a wooden trim along like a room, you could use this to create a custom shape, or also if you're creating something like a picture frame or some other fancy trim, maybe along a door frame. Now, if you open up these sections here, there's also different data for the different sections of your object or your bevel. So what could you do with this? Well, one example would be if you wanted to like add the delete geometry node. So you can see some of the nodes here, they have this selection. Another one would be like the extrude. So the extrude mesh node also has a selection. So for example, if I drop the delete geometry after the mesh bevel, it's going to delete everything, but I could just, for example, choose the edge face and put that into the selection, and now it's just going to delete everything else. Or there's also like the outer edge. So now you can see it's kind of like hollow inside and those faces are hollow. We could also add the extrude mesh node. Let's select the delete geometry. I'll hit Control X to get rid of it. So we'll add the extrude mesh, but then I can use the selection data. And for example, let's just do the edge face here into the selection, or maybe the vertex face here. So you can see now in this example, it's extruding out the faces, but only the corners. And then I can also turn off individual. That's kind of funny. That kind of looks like little umbrellas. So maybe a weird example, but you can clearly see how the selections can be useful when you're doing different operations. All right, now what I'm going to do is just disable the geometry nodes from the viewport, and let's click on add modifier, and I'm going to add the regular bevel modifier. So with the regular bevel modifier, if I like go into edit mode and select like these two vertices and move them down and move this over here, you can see that there's the angle limit or the limit method. And so you can see if I just like turn up the segments here, clearly bevels are being added right here because this is like a 90-degree angle, but this right here is a very small angle. And so because of the limit method, the default limit method is turned to 30, it's not actually adding a bevel here. Well, if I turn the angle down, it's going to add a bevel everywhere. So if I go into wireframe, you can clearly see there's a bevel. So you might be wondering how you can do that with the geometry nodes. And this would also be really important for a cylinder. So for example, I could add a cylinder here and add new geometry nodes. And then what I could do is add the mesh bevel and we'll drop it here. But you can see if I go into wireframe and then we'll turn up the segments, you can see it's adding the bevel there to every single loop there going vertically. And so this is definitely going to be a problem because now there's lots of overlapping faces. And also if I just delete the modifiers from this cube here, I'm going to add the same geometry nodes to this cube. So to fix this, we can actually create a basic geometry node setup to actually add that angle value. So what we want to do is we want to search for edge angle, and then what we also want to do is search for 2 radians. So I'm going to drop the 2 radians down here. Now the 2 radians has this degree value. Now what I'm going to do is search for greater than, and we're going to add the math node greater than. So what we want to do is we want to put the unassigned angle here into the top one, and then we're going to take the 2 radians, and we're going to put this into the bottom one. Then we're going to take the value, and we're going to put this into the selection. So the selection again is kind of like these selections here. So it's basically telling it what it's actually going to control and what it's going to add the bevel to. So now if I go to the 2 radians, there is the degree value. So you can see when I turn the degree value up to a little past a 10, like a 12, now you can see if I go into wireframe, there is clearly not a bevel on this edge. And if I click back here, I can also turn the degree up, and you can see for this angle, if I turn it to around a 16, now it goes away. So this is super useful, definitely going to be very useful in projects. And then one other thing you could do is, for example, add like the set shade smooth and drop it here, and now that bevel is going to be nice and smooth. And if you are a beginner to geometry nodes, then I recently posted a geometry nodes for beginners tutorial where I cover all the basics of geometry nodes and teach you everything that beginners need to know when learning geometry nodes. So you can check that out with the link in the video description. And when a new Blender version comes out, I always post new update videos. So if you'd like to check out my playlist with new Blender updates and features, then you can check it out right up there on the end screen and also the link in the video description. So hope you found this helpful, and thank you for watching.